Well, on the African scene, it's a dark Valentine in Nairobi, Kenya, as hundreds protest rise in femicide. Well, we have a large group of people dressed in black gathered in Kenya's capital on Wednesday for a vigil called Dark Valentine. The purpose of the vigil was to protest the increasing number of femicides in the country. Femicide cases in Kenya have been on the rise, with over 16 cases reported by the police and local media since the beginning of the year.
Declaration of violence against women and femicide.
Regardless of gender, age, we are tired of government institutions that are not working to prevent and where necessary.
It's really bad what especially men are doing to our women, and I'd really like them to change.
Oh, well, Merlin Kawira, in expressing her thoughts about the femicide, says, "We strongly condemn femicide. We're witnessing the loss of numerous women and girls. Today, many of us have come together, fellow women, ladies, and feminist leaders, to unite against femicide." Oh, well, a student, Merlin Kawira, being a student and the founder of African Arts and Mental Talks, an on-campus mental health support group, had that to say.
Meanwhile, Haiti's government made an announcement on Wednesday that they are working on an official government with Kenyan officials to finally deploy a police force from Kenya. High-ranking officials from both countries met in the U.S. for 3 days this week to create an MOU and set a deadline for the arrival of the Kenyan police forces. The meetings, which included top U.S. officials, took place after a court in Kenya blocked the UN-backed deployment of police to help Haiti combat gang violence, stating it was unconstitutional. It is not clear yet if or how the Memorandum of Understanding can bypass the court's ruling, which the Kenyan president plans to appeal. Haiti's government mentioned that 3 were intense discussions to ensure that the Memorandum of Understanding aligns with the legislation of both countries. They expect a final decision on the text and its signature by both parties early next week. The discussions also focused on the mission's operations, logistics, compliance, surveillance, required equipment, and human rights issues. The deployment was initially requested by the Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry in October 2022 and approved by the UN Secretary Council a year later. However, it has faced several legal obstacles as gang violence continues to escalate in Haiti's capital and beyond. Well, according to the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, over 800 people were killed, injured, or kidnapped in Haiti in January, which is more than 3 times the number compared to the same last year.
Well, interestingly, Ghana's President Akufo-Addo reshuffles cabinet and sacks finance minister. Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo has made some significant changes to his cabinet ahead of the upcoming December elections. The president's office announced Wednesday that the finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been removed from his position. He will be replaced by Mohamed Amin Adam, who currently serves as the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry and previously held the role of Deputy Energy Minister in charge of the petroleum sector. Ofori-Atta had been leading Ghana's efforts to restructure its debt after the country defaulted on a major portion of its external debt in December 2022. That year, inflation soared above 50%, and the local currency, the cedis, experienced a sharp decline. Ofori-Atta faced calls for his resignation from street protesters as well as opposition and ruling party members of parliament, but he managed to hold on to his position.
That's not all. No specific reason has been given for his removal, which also affected 12 other ministers of state. The Information Minister, Kojo Obon-Krema, has been reassigned to the Housing Ministry, and his deputy, Fatima Chu Abubakar, has taken over his previous role. Additionally, Ambrose Derry, who previously served as the Interior Minister, has been reassigned to the Office of the President. President Nana Akufo-Addo is currently serving his second and final term in office, which will come to an end in 2025. Anti-Western demonstration in DR Congo as fighting escalates in the east is another interesting story here. Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo was filled with anti-Western demonstration on Monday. Protesters were expressing their frustration with what they saw as silence from the international community regarding the death caused by fighting between the M23 rebels and the Congolese army. They even burned tires and the flags of the United States and Belgium near Western embassies and the UN headquarters in the DRC. The protesters believe that Western countries are supporting Rwanda, which is accused of backing the Tutsi-led M23 rebellion in the North Kivu province.
Well, an analyst and security expert named Amani Kombi mentioned that the Congolese people are reproaching the international community for their silence and indifference towards the massacres happening in the east of Congo. He said that while demonstrations like this have happened before, Monday's protests were on a different level. The Congolese government sent police to protect the embassies and UN headquarters, but did not denounce the violence against its Western partners. Kombi also mentioned that the government seems to be at an impasse, struggling to differentiate between taking action and condemning the violence. He believes that the government needs to adopt a serious approach to his war and negotiate with a credible interlocutor, which he believes is Rwanda, as it sees the M23 as nothing more than auxiliaries. Well, this is a very complex situation. What's important is for the government to address the concerns of its people and find a way to bring peace to the war-torn, to the protest-torn region.